Welcome to Your Fired Friday, everybody. Latif Thomas, Complete Track and Field. Today we're having our season-ending edition of Your Fired Friday, where I'm going to cover some issues that I have seen over the course of this entire track season that obviously need to be brought up. So some people getting their pink slips today, and I got to do a couple shout-outs, some Your Fires that I promised people that I would do. Now, I recorded this earlier and it went on for like too long. So we're turning this into the lightning round where I only have 1 minute to explain why things are fired and how to fix it. And make sure you save to the 10th one or the 9th one. I got 9 things to fire because I'm going to fire something that every sprints coach does and uses, and you're probably going to get mad or be confused. So, first one, let's go. First, getting pink slip today. I think we all know what this has to be, and if anybody disagrees, well, you're fired too. And that is USATF. USATF, get out of the house. Get out of the street, find a door, go through it. You're fired. If there's a window, that's probably preferable, right through it. You hire a drug cheat to coach the relays, who coach a drug cheat, and then they can't even get the batons around on the men's side while you're having people run on the curve on the outside of the lane, while you have people go left to left handoffs. This is why we can't have nice things, track and field. We can't have nice things because this is the kind of crazy time, bad decision making, inability to do basic stuff that is happening. Can't live with it. It's a fringe sport as it is. Please, somebody. You're fired. Next up, I got to do a couple shout outs here. So first type of coach getting fired. Coaches who wear Def Leppard hats to track meets when you're head coach. Hey, listen, grew up in the 80s, you like hair metal bands or whatever they call it, that's cool. But again, track and field, we need to have some degree of professionalism in our sport. And, you wouldn't see the basketball coach dressed like a slob. So you wouldn't see it in other, like, quote-unquote, real sports. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't wear a Def Leppard hat to a meet. You can save that for your regular time. So basically, don't take a photograph. Don't pour some sugar on you. Just be fired. Just go home. Put on some rock music. I don't know what kind of music that is. Confusing to me. Next one. Look, I get it. 80% of high school coaches are not good at coaching. They would not pass a basic test. And so I understand that. And so a lot of people, and listen, I have to deal with this. I hear from a lot of parents and kids who email me all the time. You might have to go and get like a side coach to try to fix some of the problems that your athletes or the coach is not teaching you. I just had to deal with that issue actually this morning. If you're a side coach, though, don't go to the track meet and start coaching the kid when it's the team or high school team competition. That's not your role unless you talk to the coach. Even if that coach is terrible, and they probably are, not your place. Have some respect. It's called manners. Put your ego away for like 10 seconds. It's a problem. So if you're that coach coming in, coaching the kid, that's not really your kid because it's on a high school team at a high school meet. You're fired. It's obnoxious. Get up out of here. So I hope you guys appreciate it. Did your shout outs. Next up. Again, this kind of set the theme for the day here. Coaches who just don't learn stuff but think they know what they're talking about. Here's the thing, coaches. You're going to get fired today. But when you're at a meet, and you're out there at a meet and you're coaching your kids and you're yelling stuff across the track, you might take a moment to consider if the stuff you're screaming makes any sense at all. Because I hear some crazy time cues and stuff being told to athletes, and I feel bad. But what can I do? I need all the help I can get. I'm not trying to fix people's problems at a meet. So I heard a coach say at a meet this year, be quick. If the gun goes off, be quick out of the blocks. No. Please, leave. Leave, if you say that, people. That's why athletes are terrible at sprinting, because they're quick out of the blocks. Track is powerful out of the blocks. We need to be powerful. Contact times are longer. That is not a good cue to be quick. Well, it is, if you're going against my team. Be quick out of the blocks. Please, be quick. Pitter-patter your feet like rapid fire. Oh, I'm over my time, whatever. Also, another cue that I don't believe that I hear. Jump out, triple jump coach. Jump out. You got to get out, jump out. No, don't jump out. You want to be flat on your first phase, and then step phase, jump phase is up. It's out, up, up. You jump up in the triple jump. It's vertical. Triple jump, more similar to high jump than it is to long jump. Come on, learn some stuff. Go to the clinic. Go to the clinic and learn from Boo. Boo Schexnayder is going to be at the clinic. 2008 Olympic jumps coach. I've never seen him coach before. He's going to be there coaching athletes, coaching coaches. I don't know what people are doing. Not watching this video, that's for sure. Fire. Oh, yes. Here's another one. These people are fire. People, I'm going to teach you all a little bit of a lesson here today. People using terms cocky and arrogant to describe other people. Here's the thing. Confident, cocky, arrogant. When you use these terms to describe other people, it doesn't say anything about that person. It says everything about you, right? When you say, oh, that's a confident coach, that's a good coach, right? What you're saying is they do things the way I want them to do it. They act like I want them to act. They don't act like that. So they're confident. They're not cocky or arrogant because you like the way they do it. You agree. They're being humble like you want them to. Cocky. They don't do what you want them to do. They're a little bit too loud. Talk about themselves maybe a little bit too much, or you perceive it as such. Not quiet and humble and calm like you want them to be. It makes you feel a little bit threatened. Cocky people, you're a little bit intimidated by them. That is what the difference between cocky and some people not thinking they're cocky. And then arrogant. Arrogant is someone who just really makes you feel threatened. And you really intimidates you, makes you feel vulnerable. Because you think that they think they're better than everybody else. And it really just says about your lack of confidence in yourself. So I try to use those terms. When I hear people using those terms to describe other people, I say, oh, well, you're intimidated. So you're fired. Grow up. B-skip. Next thing getting fired is B-skip. Please. No. Just don't teach B-skip coaches to anybody other than hurdlers. You want to teach B-skip as lead leg type of drill for hurdling? Fine. You have some argument about range of motion and stuff because drills don't really teach speed. All right. I see kids doing what appears to be some variation of B-skip. It's kind of like if B-skip and a grand mal seizure had a baby. That's what it would be. We're trying to teach sprinters to control their lower leg. When you have them do B-skip or whatever that's supposed to be, now you're just having them cast their lower leg out, and you're going to start to get all types of hamstring and shin and plantar fasciitis type of issues. B-skip is fire. Don't teach it. Don't do it. I will see it a lot this weekend. Our state meets coming up this weekend. B-skip is fired. Stop doing B-skips. Please. Put away Speed Dynamics tape from 1986. Underhand 4x1 passes. Fired. Why are you doing underhand 4x1 pass? Why just leaning forward and scooping up under? Come on. What is this, 1972? With that? It's terrible. Other stuff. See people in 4x1 lining up in practice at a meet in a line. No footsteps, none of that. And then just run at each other and do an underhand pass. Listen, if you need to do handoffs other than just like coordination type of drill, you need to do handoffs at a track meet. Here's what I know about you. You in lane 1 in the first heat. Fact. Next thing getting fired. Not knowing your approach length in the jumps before you get to the meet. Outdoors. I'll give a pass indoors. If you don't have a track, access to a track, how are you going to get approach length? You can't. Please, measure that stuff beforehand. How are you doing approach rehearsals you don't know your approach length? Track meets are already way too long. They're awful. Our division state meet tomorrow. Pentathlon start 8:30. I got a 6:15 bus. I don't know when I'm going to get out of there. Terrible. That's a state meet. It's less people. Take forever in the jumps when people don't have their approach length, running it back 6 times, trying to make adjustments. Don't do it. It's fired. People doing that's fired is lazy. I know that nobody's coaching the jumps when I see that happening all the time. That's like freshman, sophomore meet. Don't want to see it. Get rid of it. Stop doing that at meets. Making track terrible. Again, another reason why we cannot have nice things. And finally, the last thing I'm going to fire, last thing that's getting fired here today, sprints coaches, pay attention. Starting blocks are fired. That's right. I said it. They had to be said. Firing the starting blocks. Blocks are a privilege, not a right. We use starting blocks, and every sprints coach using starting blocks, every coach, because some coaches have sprinters, but they're not sprints coaches. Just because everybody else doing it doesn't mean you should. Most of the time, you should run away from what everybody else is doing. Kids cannot push. They cannot push. If they cannot push into the blocks, you have not taught pushing mechanics and acceleration mechanics. They cannot push out of the blocks. They are landers. They are not strikers, so they do not attack the ground. They wait for the foot to hit the ground and just flop forward. I can guarantee you this at the state meet this weekend. I have 4 girls that qualified to run a divisional championship this weekend. 2 of them do not use blocks. They will be the only 2 people at that meet in the 100 that do not use blocks. I know it. Now, of all the people that are using blocks, how many can actually push out of blocks? I don't know, but less than the total number of people that make the final. I can tell you that. Don't use blocks. Stop using blocks. It's not helping. Watch your kid come out of blocks when they do a start. The first thing you will see is their back leg, quick side leg, start pulling out of the blocks before you see the front leg move, before you see the hip move. Right? They're just stepping out of the blocks. Best girl in the division steps out the block, stands right up. Just runs 11s. What can you do? Blocks are fired. You do not need to use starting blocks. They are overrated. People are only using them because everybody else uses them. You think that's what you're supposed to do. You don't need to. Think it through. That's all I got. That's all I got for your Fire Friday. We got to go do pre-meet. I wanted to get this thing out before divisional championships and before state championships here, in case anything I say you take umbrage to, and you feel the need to come address your issue with me directly. That's what we should do and how we should handle these types of things. That is all, my friends. Good luck at your championship meets if you're still having them. Post your comments below. And we'll see you this summer at the clinic.